light from a few can be a beacon to many. Welcome to Star Wars Hopecast.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Hopecast, a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast. I'm Vyrigan.
I'm Scya.
And I'm Lari.
And welcome to episode number 12. We are continuing on, and we have had a little bit of time to get our hands or get our minds wrapped around this new expansion from Star Wars Old Republic. So now we're ready to begin an episode and start looking at this. This is going to be an exciting day. But of course, as always, we start off with how we've done in-game the last couple of weeks or so since our last episode aired. Episode 11 had released recently, so episode 12 now is a good little chunk. So, Scya, let's go ahead and start with you.
My most recent project for Sector Stronghold has been a really big one that I've been gathering video and audio and screenshots for at least a month now, and it's finally complete. It's a complete, in-depth, intensive guide about the Republic flagship, including video walkthrough with a voice-through, screenshots of every single room, and a 100% complete chart of all the prices and guides, because there's a couple of guides out there, but all of them have bits and pieces, and you kind of have to search all over. So I'm really proud of this, and I'm excited to share it, and it'll be on the site by the time this episode comes out. And a lot of the rest of my time has been spent researching about the 90 cartel coins transfer, because we are looking to possibly transfer a guild, and I want to make sure I have as much info as possible before I even talk to it about the decision we could make. And other than that, with the guild, we had something really fun. We did a flagship party, and a lot of my week was spent planning that and figuring out everything we needed for it.
That was fun. The Republic flagship guide, what flagship did you use? Because ours is not completely unlocked.
I actually stole all our money and all of our encryptions from our guild bank, and I transferred them over to the PTS, and I copied my character a million bajillion times so that I had enough to unlock an entire flagship on the PTS without actually having to spend anything. And I could do it empty too, which was great because ours is all decorated already.
That is genius. That's impressive. Okay.
Scya is a genius.
Thanks.
What can I say? And that flagship party was a lot of fun, which Lari was there as well doing her magic. So Lari, how'd your week go?
It was fun. We did the flagship party, which was a lot of fun. I ran the gambling, of course, and took a bunch of people's money, so it was pretty awesome because I ended up getting credits because, you know me, I usually have one other person that's gambling with me, and if they win, I win. So, you know, that's how it ended up working. I also transferred a couple of my tunes to Ebonhawk, which I am finding out what a big pain that is, but with me being such a large RPer, you know, unfortunately, Jung Ma just doesn't have the population for the roleplay anymore. I mean, it does for when we do, like, guild events and stuff and, like, all that, but, like, as far as, like, big open world roleplay, like, I went to the Ebonhawk and I was like, ah, because it was, like, there was, like, 150, 200 people on the fleet, and there was, like, 5 or 6 instances of roleplay going on, just right there on the fleet. Like, I could have died. I was so excited. So, I mean, I have been working on there, me and another guildie, actually, because we're hoping that depending on what the decision is, that we'll transfer to Ebonhawk, but until then, for, like, experience and whatnot, and just to kind of get, like, a little group of friends going or whatever, our guild has the one exception where you can take one character and transfer them and put them in another guild, so me and said guildmate transferred over and made our own Imperial Guild. It's very small. There's only like 6 people, but it's 100% roleplay all the time. So been kind of working on that, and it's a lot of fun. I also, with said guildie, and Vyrigan's going to laugh at this, I have been working my butt off with this 12 times because I got into a leveling competition where him and I both started warriors. Yeah, Sith warriors on Ebonhawk, and we are the first one to get to 50 gets a prize out of the other person. So, you know.
What's that prize? What was the terms of that bet? Because that doesn't quite express. When I heard this, I was like, "You said yes to this?"
So I'm kind of silly, and I have been having a lot of fun playing with this guy. So we made the bet. And the terms of the bet are, I said, okay, well, what do I get if I win? Because we can't do this just for fun. I need to get something if I win. And he goes, you can have whatever you want, under the parameters that it doesn't cost us real life money. So then he goes, well, what do I get if I win? And me, being the person that I am, was like, you can have whatever you want to, I suppose. So basically, neither one of us knows what's going to be the outcome of this, and it's a little scary. But, it's going to be fun. Let's see how this goes. Next episode, I'll update you guys and tell you who won and
what they won.
And what they won.
If I was a bet and the prize was you get whatever you want, I could be very creative.
Yes. We've already discussed how creative you can be because you've already told me what you think he's going to ask for, and we're just not going to discuss that. That's just going to stay quiet. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm going to win though because I'm transferring my level 60 over tonight, and apparently he said that counts as me winning. So that works for me. I guess I cheated. I don't know. Then other than that, I mean, I ended up losing 2 of my assistants since the last time I've been on. I've been absent for 2 episodes, obviously, because I decided having a heart attack would be a fun idea, for one thing. But then I came back, and my department was missing 2 assistants, so now I'm working on getting 2 assistants. I have 3 hopefuls, and they're all working their butts off to try, and it's a lot of fun, and we've been pushing for some things. We've got some nice in-game ideas coming along, and we also have gotten the forum RPs rolling, so yay!
Yay.
But yeah, that's pretty much been my time since the last time y'all heard from me. What about you, Vyrigan?
Well, speaking of the forum RPs, I've actually, that's one thing I did this past week. So the forum RP is back and rolling, and it's the Epic Story RP, where we have a rat ghoul infestation that we're dealing with. And I decided to take a rather drastic left turn. So,
oh no.
The rat ghoul disease is an epidemic, and it is a very difficult thing to deal with. And let's just say that Kamek has been injured. And so this is the turn that this has taken. So I'm not 100% sure in my own head what's going to come about with this, because early on he did mention that he was vaccinated. But you know how vaccines can be sometimes. So I'm still deciding how that's going to go. This is not the last RP in this series. Coda has another one in the chute that he's trying to get us through this one so we can do another one. But I'm not 100% sure that Kamek will be the one in the next one, or if it won't be his successor.
He's not going to make it.
Can we turn him into a rat ghoul? Can he become a rat ghoul?
I don't know. We're still working on that. But I that was one of those things where it's like, wait a minute. Let's just see what
Veer, if he does become a rat ghoul, we do have that one spot on the flagship in the med bay where there's a little baby rat ghoul, so we can kick him out and Kamek can live there if you want.
Yeah, we could do that. Killicam could be our pet rat ghoul.
Killicam is the pet rat ghoul. That'd be hilarious. Besides poor Kamek, and in game he doesn't change. He's a wonderful Chiss operative. Although he does kind of change, but I'll get there in a second. This week was my first week tanking ever. So I made a power tech bounty hunter a long time ago, and finally got him to 60. Decided when we did the Scya story to go ahead and get him the basic 190 tanking gear. I know it's not really min-max, but it'll do. And because of the shielding and everything that power techs get, it's really easy. If you're going to start tanking, tank with something that makes shields happen automatically. It's fantastic. So, and Scya knows this from her time with her Republic Trooper, which is the counterpart.
The easiest and the best.
Oh my goodness. We did the Group Finder Dread Fortress. And I was like, I'll take him. I got this. And now, to be fair, level 60, 55 content, and bolstered, by the way.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was fun. It was hilarious. Although I'm finding out our Imperial Ops have become a rip on Lari time. So,
That was just, that was a...
The last 2 Imperial operations that I have attended, that has been everybody's pastime to make them giggle.
Not everybody, just a few people's.
Uh-huh.
We won't name names.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, from there, So from there, though, it was a good chance to get a starting chance as a tank, since I have never done it before. It's probably one of the easiest things I've ever done, because my DPS, I'm terrible in DPS in that I do not put out a lot of DPS, but I generate a lot of threat. And so that's one of the early things when Scya and I were first operating together. Vyrigan, my shadow, would get a whole lot of threat real quick. And I'd be like, yep, of course I'm a tank. I love getting threat. I'm not. But
And the worst part is I have trouble keeping track of people's roles during ops, and I would always ask, Vyrigan, are you a tank? And Vyrigan would go, yes! And I'd be like, okay. Oh, I'm sorry!
So, beyond that, I'm making a new consular besides Vyrigan, but this consular is also named Vyrigan because he's on the Ebonhawk server. I decided to go with a sage. I've heard a lot of whispers about Ebonhawk. It seems like a cool server. I want to try it out, and I want to see if my main characters, Vyrigan and Kamek, were available. And so I made a Vyrigan, and I made a Kamek. So if Kamek dies, it's okay. There's another one on another server. And I decided to do the opposite advanced class. So the new Vyrigan is a sage, whereas the ones of Shadow. And the new Kamek is a sniper, as opposed to the operative. I was going to do another agent anyway because of the storyline. I want to make a different storyline. So that is one of those experiments. I transferred someone over to get my legacy over and all my cool benefits, because playing without benefits is terrible. And that was that. So that's been our time in game for the last couple of weeks. It's been busy. There's a lot going on. And one of the biggest things that has been going on in our guild, and we're just going to kind of touch on it because it's still in flux, is the 90 cartel coin credit transfer that was offered up from BioWare. Now, I'm not going to say that the community team is out of touch with their community, but they're out of touch with their community. Because here's what they're thinking. Prophecy of the 5 is dying. Has been dying forever. Prophecy of the 5 is a PvP server. It just ain't making it. Really bad environment, really bad atmosphere. If you read the forums and the Reddits and all that stuff with them, they're just a really rough, toxic place. You have to have some really thick skin on Prophecy of the 5. So they're expecting, we're not going to close Prophecy of the 5. We're not going to close a server while we're announcing our largest expansion to date. That's bad PR. But we're going to give everyone a chance to go ahead and go. If they want to go, they can go.
They were thinking with their inner marketing team, not their inner community team. The whole point of the transfers was to allow people coming back to the game to realize, I'm on the wrong server as my friend is. I should transfer over, and now I can do it and play with them.
And I play with my friends. The issue we're running into is now these low population servers are actually seriously looking at, hey, we could always move to a higher population server. And so there are 4 servers in particular. One happens to be Jungma, which is our server, the Bastion, Vyrigan Colony, and Prophecy of the 5, which was expected, that are having issues with Exodus. People are leaving. They're going to these higher population servers, namely Harbinger, Shaolins, and Ebonhawk. So it's one of those things that our guild is looking at. It is a pain in the butt to try and move an entire guild. We've already had a very large guild actually on Jungma leave, and that would be the Guardians. And they originally said they weren't going anywhere.
That was before the transfers, though.
That was before the transfers. Mm-hmm. And then when the transfers started, and they started to lose people, and they were having trouble filling group content, then they decided to go. And they moved to the Harbinger because some of their people had tunes on the Harbinger already, and they thought it'd be a good fit. And, hey, I wish them the best. They were a great competitor against us. We had a lot of close conquests because of the Guardians. They were definitely dedicated to that.
Fun.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing them around, although my hope is that if we do leave, we'd go to Ebonhawk, but I don't know. We're still working on that. Mm-hmm. So it's just the unexpected side effect. And Scya said on the head, they were thinking with the marketing side, which makes sense, but the community side, there's no way to move it.
They forgot about us, or they don't care. I'm not sure. It's probably under the realm of, you're not going to stop paying money if we don't do this, so why should we waste our time on it?
Exactly. Because you can't move your guild ship. You technically can't move the guild as a whole. You have to try and get your guild back, which somehow our guild name on Ebonhawk is, somehow secured and safe, just in case. Just saying. Well, one side is, not the other side, which that's going to be a whole different ball of wax. But anyway, you can't move your guild ship. You lose a lot of your stuff. If anything's in your cargo hold, you lose it. You get your strongholds, but you have to re-unlock them. But then you get all the rooms, so that's okay. It's a pain though. It's a real pain in the butt, especially if some people invest a lot of time and money into like the guild ship and that kind of stuff. So it's a real pain, and so we're just kind of working with that. The other thing though that came up is the next nearly free decoration, because again, they forgot to give us something, apparently. In a pack, there was a chair. A lovely chair, by the way. It looks fantastic. Scya, what is this chair that we're getting now?
A nice Jedi Temple chair. Just the basic version, not the fancy version.
Oh, well, it looks nice. Now, why are we getting this for a credit? I don't understand this.
Now, what happened was, if you go on the PTS before the packs come out, you can often see what's going to be in them by looking at the collections. So someone like Delphi will make a list up, or even Tor Community probably now, and show what's going to be in the potential packs. So anybody can look at this. It's open to everybody, and it's pretty clear that it says this is from this pack. So it's assumed when you go to open the pack on the live server when it actually comes out that it should be in there. Like, there's no reason why it wouldn't be, even though the PTS is supposed to be, test. Don't take our word for it. They assume that some people are going to be buying the packs because of what they've seen on the PTS and were expecting it. And in return, as a sorry, this wasn't in here, they put it on the vendor for 1 credit each. So you can get 50 of them.
Now, when this first came out, there was an immediate exploit where you could purchase it for a credit and sell it back to a vendor for 100 credits. That was a boo-boo.
That was wonderful.
That was a boo-boo. Bioware got ahead of that real quick. It was all over the forums very quickly. This is an exploit. Do not participate in it. We will deal with you harshly if you do. And so they fixed it. And I'm actually kind of refreshed with them going ahead and just saying, hey, this is not supposed to happen. This is an exploit. Don't do it. It's kind of like, the old history of don't talk about because you bring attention to it doesn't work. Because people talk about secretly. So, I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think it's funny because on Reddit, a few people said they did do it because they did see the message saying, don't do the exploit, and then they Googled it or looked it up on Reddit and were like, ah, ha, 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 ha. But, I think in the end it's probably better to announce it. At least then the player base who's not exploiting doesn't feel like nothing's going on and nobody cares.
I didn't honestly even know anything was going on. I didn't know until I saw the thing, but I'm not silly, so I'm not gonna go be like, yay, let's exploit, don't get me wrong, I was trying to earn 9 million credits for Rancor, but, I'm not gonna...
Not gonna do it that way?
Not gonna do it that way. I could.
99 credits at a time per chair. So that I like the fact that they went on ahead of this and they kind of caught that and went through that. So, but beyond that, that's the big news that has been in our guild at this time. So the cartel coin character transfer thing is a big thing, and it is nice to be able to move characters back and forth. I have enough cartel coins just from being a subscriber to move my entire legacy if I so choose. The question is, are we? And that's what we're working on. So this brings us to, probably in record time, our Galactic Gossip topic. And of course, it's our first episode recording after the announcement of the new expansion. So what are we going to talk about? Knights of the Fallen Cataclysm. Empire.
Pandas everywhere. Pandas coming out of carbonite.
Knights of the Fallen Cataclysm in the mists of Draenor. Oops, nope, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Star Wars. Actually, this has very little to do with the WoW expansion style, but also has a very lot to do with the WoW expansion style. And we'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about what we know. So, Scya, what do we know? We
know that it is coming out with 4.0, and we know that there's going to be a 5-year time lapse between the current events right now and where the story starts then. You'll be frozen in carbonite. We don't know the whole story about that yet, but I'm sure we'll learn more as time goes on. Everything's getting condensed into a single story, so there's no more 8 class stories, there's just going to be 1, and that's it, with a little bit of flavor stuff thrown in, especially for the companions. There'll be extra companions too. There's going to be a change in how they provide the story. It's going to be episodic now. There's not going to be any more purchases besides just paying for your subscription. As time goes on, more chapters will be released, and as long as you're subscribed, you'll get them. And Vyrigan, tell me what they're telling us about this being an MMO and this being a single-player game.
Yeah, so the MMO part is what we currently know as SWTOR, and that actually, those 8 class stories are going to be streamlined so it's easier to get to max level 60. But now we're hitting a point where this is a single-player game. This expansion is actually designed to kind of restrict group content. It's a personalized story, and the story has drastic changes based on your choices. So because of that, they actually restrict it that you can't play together. Like in SWTOR now, you can set that people can help you in your story quest. You go into the zone and they can fall behind you and participate and watch. Not so in the new expansion. This is a single player game that we all play together, which is part of the reason why we don't seem to have any new operations or flashpoints coming. They are going to up the current operations to 60-ish content, but they're not in the process of making anything new, and I don't think they're going to make anything new for quite a while. They say this is still an MMO, and they understand people are going to play together, and they do get that, but that's not their focus, and they probably won't be their focus for quite a while now, because this is now episodic gameplay, single player. This is what the Shadow Realms folks have been working on. We wondered where they were, we know where they are. They've been working on this.
We were not apparently making a Star Wars MOBA. Sorry.
No, thank God for that. I wouldn't play that.
See, I don't know how I feel about that, though, because that's part of the biggest reason why I play Star Wars is for, like, the MMO capabilities. So I guess I'm just gonna see where it goes and, you know, put my faith in the game that I love and, you know, hopefully it's all still what, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully I still enjoy it as much as I did and whatnot.
Well, and the hope is that they will eventually give us something, but it looks like overall the MMO, and they say this, we know it's an MMO,
It's an M&M?
It's an LMNOP. It is an MMO. But in the same breath, this episodic content is going to come. And it's episodic, which meaning, you know, they're going to put a chunk out in October when the thing releases, and then starting in January, every month you get another episode. Now, to get that episode, you have to be subscribed, which is why I consider this the end of the SWTOR free-to-play model. SWTOR now, 1 to 60, will still exist. It will be there forever. And you can do that free-to-play to your heart's content. 1 to 60, play the story, yay. You have to subscribe. There's no purchasing Knights of the Fallen Empire. You have to be a subscriber to get it. Now, the nice thing is, once you subscribe, you get everything that has been unlocked to that point. The moment you subscribe, you get that. But then anything forward, you don't get until you resubscribe. And if new content's coming out every month, it's kind of like they want you to subscribe every month to get the new content. Now, at least in America right now, we're kind of on the binge fringe. We'll go and wait for a season to come out on Netflix, and then we'll binge watch it. So there is a part of players who will probably let it kind of build up a little bit and then do a bunch of episodes at one time. But there are also a bunch of players that's like, I want the very next episode right now. Especially if you like KOTOR 1 and 2. This is actually KOTOR 3.5, in my opinion. Whereas, technically, the Jedi Knight story would be KOTOR 3, give or take. So, the world of free-to-play doesn't really exist in Star Wars Knights of the Fallen Empire, at least in my opinion.
It doesn't, I don't know. I guess I personally don't even really think it exists all that well now because, you know, when people go free to play, it's just there's so much that, like, honestly, I let my subscription, and I think you were online with me, Vyrigan, where I let my subscription lapse for like an hour and a half, and I logged into the game and I tried to do a couple of things and it was like I couldn't go to Section X, I couldn't go to Zyos, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do this, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going back subscription right now because it was so ridiculous. Like, I was like, there's no way, like, I don't know. So I mean, I feel really bad for said free to players because I mean there's like nothing they can do. So
and the free to play model from EA is a free trial. It just happens to be a free story trial, period. So, it's never been a good free to play model. We all know that. And they're not going anywhere good with what they're doing now.
It's been a great free-to-pay model for their wallets.
It has birthed life into the game, and I'll say this. It has introduced a lot of people to try the game in a more robust way, and then they decide to subscribe. I think that really has been a good side effect from this. But as far as do free-to-play players feel like second-class citizens? Oh, yes, they do, because they are.
Because they are peons. What? Sorry?
Scya!
Now, the other thing I'm excited about with this, even though it's a single-player game, there is going to be drastic changes. Now, they have not yet said whether this is going to be something where it's like phased, where you don't affect the world at large, but your world changes drastically. and they're holding back on that for further announcement. But the companion stories are huge. You're going to, because your companions continue to live on in the 5-year lapse, you have to reassociate with them. You have to reconnect with them. You can actually connect with the companions from other classes. And of course, there are new companions, which Lana Beniko has been kind of mentioned a couple times over. And there's a new HK droid that hopefully will be available, his job is to protect his affectionately called meat bags. But it looks like there's opportunities where someone could die. Like, as in the way it was in beta, when you could kill a companion.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Is it the old ones or only the new ones? I don't know.
I don't know. And see, the companions are starting from scratch. And by the way, if you are a subscriber for, I don't know if it's maybe July, you get the Smuggler companion. The Smuggler from the original cinematic. Can't remember his name for the life of me. But the cool operator. Awesome. The cool operator who made me want to make a gunslinger, then when I realized the gunslinger's kind of crap, that's okay. But the cool guy that made me want to make a gunslinger, who got the original Satil Shan out of the space station around Korriban, that guy.
Nico.
Yes, thank you. That's his name?
No. Nico something with an A is his last name.
Okay.
Come on, Lara, you're an RP officer. You should know this.
I know. Don't arg. I can't remember what his name is. That's gonna bug me now.
Oh, I got Nico Okar.
There you go.
You
cheated. Have to be subscribed. I did. You hear my mouse in the background. If you're subscribed by July 31st, you get Legendary Gunslinger from Star Wars Republic's Return Cinematic will always have your back. By August 31st, you get his blasters, which actually aren't bad looking. By September 30th, you get his duster. Because, again, we're playing a condensed story. You're the outsider. So you get a cool jacket, because you're outside a lot. They keep you warm. You get a swoop bike. Finally, we get a swoop bike, but you don't get to race anybody, because you're playing by yourself. That's okay. And then... Oh, I know what okay. I'm sorry. I know what I'm going to say at the end of the show. And for those of you who are listening and don't realize this, the end of the show, there's that May the Force be with you, or May the Force serve you well, and there's a little tag. I make that up on the fly as we're making the episode, so I can kind of decide what I want to do. Well, I already know right now what that's going to be. So
Lord. So, everybody's in for a treat, apparently.
If you subscribe through the whole period of July 31st through October 19th, you receive an early access bonus, meaning that you get to get into the game on a week earlier from its release. Its release is October 27th, and you get a full week earlier, which looks like October 19th. So, hooray! And you're the Outlander, the veteran of the Great Galactic War. There's no Republic, there's no Empire, but there's also no cross-faction. So please don't get confused on that. That has been actually asked a couple times over. You wake up from a 5-year nap, you still remember that the Empire, if you're Republic, the Empire is your sworn enemy. You don't get over that. There's no cross-faction playing with the opposite faction.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. And this is where we're starting to get to that Cataclysm-ish kind of feel. We've been moving towards there's a common enemy, but we still really don't like each other. That's Cataclysm. World of Warcraft Cataclysm. There's a great enemy. We don't like each other, but we have to deal with the great enemy. And
the Empire is destroyed. The Republic has fallen, and now we must fight Kefis?
I'm wondering. I think he will be in this.
Maybe.
He probably won the companion. If he becomes a companion, I will poop my pants. That would be fantastic. Newest companion, Kefis. What? Kaizen drank a special juice and he became Kefis. Oh, gosh. Alright, so what would we like to see? I almost say one thing I want to see badly is this would be a good opportunity to do what Cataclysm did for a while, and that is improve the game engine. The hero engine was old when the game came out. If you're making this drastic of a change to the game, it almost seems like this should be a second game, quote unquote.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do that, because there's going to be a lot of people coming back or starting because of coffee, and then there's also going to be people coming and starting because of the new movie. So if there was ever a time to improve the engine, actually make it work for people and everybody, now would be the time.
Now be the time, because you can make a level 60 from scratch. You don't have to take one of your characters and move them into this story. If it was me and I was BioWare, I would say, well, you make your level 60, and then if you pick one of those characters, we convert them to another server, quote unquote, that is the actual story for this new Kofti. That's why the operations are boosting up. It's almost like they don't want you to go back. There's new plants, yes, there's new things, but everything's kind of trying to boost up to meet you, and there's whole new set of plants, whole new things that you're going to be doing in this new expansion. I wonder what your strongholds are going to be like. Will your strongholds still exist? I noticed that we haven't heard much about the Yavin 4 stronghold after this announcement. Do y'all notice that?
Mm-hmm.
I want it! That's all I know.
I know, I want to. So, Lari, what about... what are you looking forward to, especially with this whole time-lapse thing?
I don't know. I've come up with some pretty awesome character ideas and stuff for it, I think, and all that good stuff. But I don't know how. I don't know. The cinematic. I didn't even know because I was at work and I missed most of the E3 and stuff. And I didn't even realize, I knew there was a new expansion coming out, but I didn't know that they were, doing a cinematic and stuff. So I logged into TeamSpeak, and I think I blew everyone's ears out when I watched the cinematic, because I was so excited for it. And, I'm just excited to see where everything's going to go in this time lapse. And I'm really, really excited to see how they're going to continue the game when the Empire doesn't exist. And you know what I mean? I can't wait for it. I'm just so excited. I'm clapping my hands like a crazy little schoolgirl right now because I'm so excited. It opens so many new, story opportunities roleplay-wise for me that it's not even funny. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. I think I'm going to do the thing, and this is, super cliche, but I think for at least one of my characters, because I did have it in her storyline that she had kind of a terminal illness, and so I think that's probably going to be the reason why she was put in carbonite, is, to keep her alive until they could figure out something to, help her, kind of a thing. So I think it'll be fun. I'm just excited. I can't wait. I don't know. I'm nervous. It better live up to my standards.
I'm a little bit worried about the roleplay aspect for my main character because before this had come out, she had been through very crazy, ridiculous, insane story involving her turning to the dark side and stopping being a Republic trooper and so on and so forth. And then a while later, I was like, I want to go back to being a trooper again, but I can't exactly unburn the bridges that I've made. So I gave her a hit on the head. And she reversed her memory. Well, I promise there was more to the story than that. But now, with she'll have gone under and in carbonite twice in a row after coffee. I can't think that's healthy.
Alive and in perfect hibernation. Isn't that what Lando said? And I'll say the one thing that I'm looking forward to is a new Lana Benico model. Because, oh my gosh, she was ugly. There was no denying.
Face.
A new model?
Squishy face.
Well, at least according to the illustration, she looks more...
like a human?
Balanced. More like a human.
That's so funny, because so many people I've talked to have said they like her, and then, she looks like she needs some tissues. She looks like she has the flu.
Oh my gosh, her face looks so squished and contorted that she just looks, I don't even know, she's ugly. I don't call people ugly, but she's
got issues.
She's ugly. She has a butter face.
Wow.
Oh my. To anyone who is unaware of this colloquial saying, butterface means everything but her face.
She looks awesome. Butterface. Oh my gosh.
I had to. I'm sorry. That's what I say every time I see her when we go through the storyline. I'm like, oh, there's Butterface. I'm sorry. I'm done now.
So, all right. So, with that,
you guys miss me as your co-host?
we did. So with that is kind of where we stand. There's been a lot of news podcasts that put out a lot of content about Knights of the Fallen Empire. We're, of course, very excited. I love stories. So for me, this is really going to be fun. It is got some weird things to it. I really do still feel like this is a completely different game, even though it's part of SWTOR. But Marking's not going to say, we're making another game because you still want to play SWTOR. They still want people to play SWTOR. So, and there's been a lot of things said by BioWare that are things that they say that you can take a lot of ways. Like, when BioWare says, we remember this is an MMO, some people are like, oh, they remember it's an MMO, so they're going to put new operations and things together. No. When you look at the full sentence, it's like, we know this is an MMO, we know you still want to do group content. We're focusing on story. Okay. They know it's an MMO. They say it's an MMO. It's not their priority. So there's a lot of things in this that I'm just looking at this as a very different game. This is Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic, chance to kind of pull things into a story that you can control. But as a side effect, it's single player. So it's kind of a bummer. Anything else, ladies, you want to add to the coffee? Coffee.
I think it's funny. It's called coffee.
Coffee. Knights of the Fallen Coffee.
Oh my gosh.
So with that, we are back for another Chronicles of the Coruscant Courier Service, our radio drama. This is when it's starting to get good. We've had a few episodes that record back to back, and I can't tell you anything, but this is a very good one.
I'm just gonna say, I actually cried while recording this episode, so if you hear me crying, I was actually crying.
Alright, so with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Previously on the Chronicles of the Coruscant Courier Service.
I couldn't have gotten to where I am without you, and I think you should know how I really feel.
Oh, Grant.
Jero said we might not make it back, and I should make my bed, just in case. So, Clips, I'm here to tell you that I...
Yeah?
Wait a second. Where is Jero?
Surprise, surprise. Nobody move. Good work, kid. You really sold that mushy stuff.
Hell yeah, we got you good, Tillith.
Wait, what?
We thought she might come for you, Calypso, so we came up with this awesome plan to rescue you.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Jero, put that thing down before you actually shoot someone. I wasn't here to bring Calypso in. I came to help her.
What are you looking at me for? I'm not apologizing. Jeros don't apologize.
What's our next move?
You guys didn't bring it along for no reason. Let's see that package.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna try to hack into the CCS database and find out who the buyer and seller are. I'd like to know what kind of trouble we're really facing here.
What's that?
I got something.
Wait, what?
Chill out, it's coming.
Alright, kid, man up. Let's go.
Get out there and I'll send it to you when we get it.
Alright.
Okay, princess. Show me what you're made of. You fly.
You got it. Hey.
Yeah?
Before, when Tilth mentioned the Imperials, you said we shouldn't go to the authorities.
Yeah, you backed me up.
I did at the time, but I've been thinking about it. Why not go to the authorities?
Because that's breaking our policy. You ship with us to avoid any snooping, government or otherwise. It's all legal.
Well, I think we've thrown legality to the wind, so why not now?
The policy is the policy. Without it, what's the point of having couriers?
I get your loyalty to the CCS, the people, and even the job. It may be the only respectable thing about you.
Hey now.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying. There has to be a line, right?
There's always a line, but turning a package over to the authorities, well, that isn't it.
But there are Imperials on Coruscant.
And there are Imperials on Balmora. So what?
This is a Republic capital, and the Imps are here.
Good for them.
Gerald, do you like Imperials?
Hell no! Those stuck-up prissy little...
Then why not turn him over? We could be saving Republic lives.
Yeah? But what has the Republic done for me lately? Or for you, for that matter, huh? Look, I hate the Empire just as much as the next guy, but there's no good guys and bad guys here. There isn't even winners and losers. There's just losers. This is war, not a picnic. And as far as I'm concerned, both the Republic and the Empire are to blame.
Who's the princess now?
Oh, shove it. Hey, what you got for me?
Hey guys, we've got an address for the drop, but no starting address. You could end this right now, but I have a feeling dropping off the package won't solve all our problems.
Probably not, but it is a start.
See what you can get from the drop site, but don't get involved in anything.
Copy that.
And Jero, I don't think I need to tell you, but if no one's there, do not leave the package.
Of course.
That was a little condescending.
What was?
Wait till it said not to leave the package. You're a professional. Stuff like that usually bugs you.
Yeah, well, Tillis is allowed to bug me. A little. Alright, here's the coordinates. Get moving.
Here, I got you some coffee.
Thanks.
I figured you'd need it after being up all night with the data.
Yeah, CCS doesn't mess around with their security.
Where do you learn all that stuff with the whacking?
The what?
You said you would whack into their data.
Hack into. It's hacking.
Ah.
I've always been good with computers, and since I spent so much time with the system at the office, well, let's put it this way. You lock a door so many times, you tend to figure out how to get around the lock.
Well, why not be a courier?
Excuse me?
I didn't mean to offend. It's just, you referred to the desk work resentfully. If you didn't like it, why not deliver?
You need to stop jumping to conclusions.
Fine. I have your records. I know you were a courier and stopped. So I guess I'm asking why you stopped.
'Cause I did, okay?
Hey,
What?
I graduated at the top of my class. I was promised a high-paying management position at one of the best companies on Coruscant. I went straight there after school and never looked back. I have money and I have power.
What's that? Is that supposed to make me tell you? Am I supposed to fear your almighty power and feel blessed to tell you? Wake up, sister, 'cause that's not happening.
I'm not done.
Well, I am.
No, you're not. Yeah, I have all those things, but what I don't have is a life. I went to school to get a job to get money. I now have all that, and I realized I missed so much along the way. I have no friends, I don't talk to my family, and now I might not have a job. But the one I am trying to get the most right now? A friend. The job doesn't matter as much as what you think of me right now, and I don't know why.
Tillith?
Don't feel sorry for me. I don't want that. I want a friend.
I used to be a courier at my branch. I delivered opposite Jero and his partner.
With Ollie, right?
Right. Well, Ollie and I got real close and things started happening.
What things? Bad things?
No. Relationshipy things.
Oh, I see.
One night, he asked me to meet him outside our favorite restaurant. I got there early, and I heard voices in the alley. Sounded like Ollie, so I went to go check it out.
And was it him?
Yeah. I found him selling a package we received that day to someone.
Black market?
Probably.
Just like Schaefer.
Yeah. Well, I confronted him. I needed to know why the man I loved was dealing with the black market. The man he was selling to drew a blaster, and so did Ollie. I shot them both.
Ollie was gonna shoot you?
I thought so at the time, but now I know that he wasn't.
How?
He was carrying this on him.
A ring.
He was going to propose.
Oh my, I'm so sorry, Calypso.
Me too.
What happened to you?
Nothing. They cleared me for bringing down a rogue courier, and I resigned from delivering the next day.
Clips,
Yeah?
is it okay to hug you now?
Yeah.
That's it there?
Yup.
Alright. Pull up and park it.
You don't want it running?
Ordinarily, I would, but I want someone to have my back this time.
Sure, but I'm still not the best shot.
And that's why I want you behind me.
Right.
I don't like this.
Why?
It's just a house.
So?
So, if it was a shady warehouse, or something like that, then I'd be able to tell there was danger.
Sure, and if they put a sign on the door that said, bad guys inside, it'd be easier too.
There are no bad guys and good guys, remember? Only guys.
Right.
Alright, here we go. You ready?
I have to be.
Coruscant Courier Service. We have a delivery for this address.
Anything?
They're moving.
Why aren't they answering?
I don't know, but I don't.
Ah!
Shut up! There's no one there.
Look, over there's some guy on the floor.
Grant, no!
Why? He could be hurt.
Because dead guys don't move around. Get down!
All right, and that was a cool episode. I enjoyed. I'm enjoying these. This is cool. I'm looking forward to the next one, and we hope you are as well.
They're a lot
So that's
of fun
gonna
to
be
make.
it.
I said they're a lot of fun to make.
They're a lot of fun to make. And I truly enjoyed it, and I know Lori does as well. This is when it's starting to get to the fun. The RP in us is showing. And that's going to be it for this episode. If you'd like to join us or look for our Republic Guild, Remnants of Hope, you can find guild information at remnantsofhope.com and follow the guild on Twitter at ROHSWOTOR. This and other episodes of our podcast can be found at hopecastgamers.com. You can email the show at swotorhopecast@gmail.com, and you can subscribe on iTunes. I am so tongue-tied today, but it's been a pleasure. And with that, I am Vyrigan.
And I'm Scya.
And I'm Lari.
And until next time, may the Force serve you well. And remember, join us in SWOTOR. Oh, wait, we can't play together, though. It's a massively single-player online game. Bye, everybody!
Vyrigan! Every time! Sorry, BioWare.
You have been listening to the Star Wars Hopecast, part of the Remnants of Hope game community.